Hey y'all! So I had the brilliant idea, what if I ranked every single Jet Lag the Game episode and put them all in a single bracket? Well, unfortunately there were no brackets that could fit that many contestants, at least those that I could use for free and didn't have to give my personal information to. So instead, I had the also brilliant idea of narrowing it down to just the top episodes of each season and then putting those into a March Madness-esque duel against each other. But certified Jet Lag the Game on my phone secret, I'm lazy, is true. I did not want to watch all that. I did not want to do all that. I did not want to read all that. So I made a bunch of people do it for me.
Number one victory royale. Yeah, Fortnite is time to get down. Get down.
So disclaimer, I ran out of money, so I no longer have subscription to After Effects. Therefore, this will be edited using iMovie. If you don't like it, that's classist.
We don't have any footage of Sam doing that, or even boarding his flight, because they forgot to film it.
Let's do this. Hi, my name is Dionysia. I am... What am I? I don't know. You decide. It's up to you. Clodagh asked me, demanded that I do a video about Crimespree. And then I said, I can do it, but it has to be on the condition that I talk about what I want to talk about. And a mistake was made because Clodagh agreed to my terms. So what am I going to talk about? This scene, where Sam here has his 7 obscene items. The reason why I care so much about this scene is because you can tell that Sam is an OG YouTuber. Why? Because he's uploading this to a private streaming service, Nebula, that is not advertisement supported and is specifically made so that you can talk about topics you couldn't talk to about YouTube. Then why the fuck is he afraid to say dildo?
7 obscene articles.
One more than necessary.
I genuinely don't know. It's something that is keeping me up at night. Every night when I can't sleep, this is what I'm thinking of. Why didn't he say it? Other than that, what kind of dildos did he buy? Like, we know there are 7 kinds. They all look mildly interesting. Some, as you can see, are flesh-colored. Some aren't. Do they have veins? Do you think they have veins? Because I think that this one has a vein, while this one doesn't. What is that based on? Wish I knew. To be frank, I wish I knew. But just the fact that Sam Wendover Denby, I think that's his name, buys 7 dildos to break the law for a game show, and then doesn't show them. Oh, look, now we're back to this. How can I forgot my point. My point is, I want to see them. I want an uncensored version of this. Just Sam Wendover Denby. I'm going to quote some of the greatest minds of the 20th century when I have this proposition for you. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. Also follow me on Instagram if you're gay. Clodagh put my Instagram, like here, just here, put my Instagram label and my Twitter while you're at it. That could be great. I wasn't asked to do this.
We got 3 bugs!
3 bugs.
3 bugs!
3 bugs in Wyoming.
3 bugs,
All right, let's
one
call Sam.
state.
I don't think I've ever rewatched a Jet Lag season without doing it in chronological order, and season 1 always lies at the beginning. It's probably tied with season 2 for the seasons I have watched the most, both from botched rewatch attempts and back in a simpler time when these 2 seasons were the only ones around to watch. It is hard for me to look at this season without the lens of nostalgia. It's both from a time in a life I cherish, and it also holds a great deal of emotional importance to me. There is something fun and carefree about this season. It feels simple, and it's the season that feels the most like a group of friends who drunkenly decided to go on a crazy trip across the country. Sam is still in that stage between being an awkward teenager and granola girl, and learning to be on camera. Brian might be tired, pissed off, and don't got a single clue of what's going on, but he is funny as fuck. Ben and Adam aren't famous, they're just a couple of best friends from New York City, and there's a childish delight in that. It's unpolished, all over the place, and very silly. It is clear that they have not found their groove yet, but there is something endearing about it. With all its flaws at the core of it, there is what we love. 4 friends hanging together and playing games we all wish we could play. It is jet lag in its rawest form, and I think that is something to be cherished. The game itself is simple to understand. It's got flaws for sure, but it is an entertaining game that immediately grabs the audience, and you know how to play it from off the bat. It's funny too, with Sam and Brian bickering like brothers, and Ben and Adam off the bat showing why everyone loves them. It's a simple season, but it's got events that are still remembered as some of the greatest ones today. It's not the best season in any category, but it is solid in all. It is, in a nutshell, what jet lag is supposed to be. Episode 1 comes in last in the episode rankings. Now, I think this episode is a good start to jet lag. The quippy bit at the start, and the laid-back vibes of the morning at the hotel, introduces the audience perfectly to what the show is going to be. However, most of this episode consists of Sam and Brian and Ben and Adam traveling across the country and doing silly little quests. These moments, in particular Ben getting drunk, are iconic, but they do not feel like anything spectacular, especially with what comes next. One of my favorite parts of this episode is how off the bat you realize that Ben and Adam are outplaying Sam and Brian hard. The dynamic between the teams, even when they don't interact, is very exciting, and the narrative of Ben and Adam as the dominant team and Sam and Brian as the underdogs grows quickly. It also has some of the best interactions between Sam and Brian. Brian's dry wit and tired attitude, and Sam's petty teasing creates some of the funniest moments in all of jet lag, that in the end just feel like 2 close friends bickering. Where this episode shines is toward the end, where Ben and Adam outplay Sam and Brian with going to Arizona, one of those moments that displays the brilliant comedic editing of Jet Lag the Game. The ending leads us into episode 2, which is coincidentally my second favorite episode of the season, and one of the episodes with one of the best moments in the entire season. Yet I think that moment is not only what shines within this episode. To me, this episode serves as the perfect build-up for the finale. We start in Arizona, where Ben and Adam are outplaying Sam and Brian, leaving them with little option. Yet while the entire episode Ben and Adam are clearly the ones in control of the game, Sam and Brian are not far behind, keeping track of their every move and knowing what their plan is. In turn, Sam and Brian can play their simple game, get the pieces they need, and they can have a chance. Even though this is the first season, I think it has some of the most exciting gameplay that shines in this episode. The episode works as a great build-up, each moment and event adding up to the end. One of my favorite moments from the entire show is Sam and Brian being able to turn the tables. The audience has been led to believe that they're far behind Ben and Adam, but knowing every move they had done up until now, they managed to figure out which plane they're going on, and realizing that this is their only chance, they rush to the airport to be able to make the same plane. It's now anyone's game, and the shock on Adam's face gives me pure joy. While I think episode 2 has the most exciting moment of the season by far, I think episode 3 is the best episode of the season. Episode 2 places the cards on the table, and episode 3 plays them out. The episode starts out with a twist. The plane has to go back to Salt Lake City, and this is when we as the audience realize the episode isn't going to play out as we thought. The episode quickly moves into the battle for Utah, where Ben and Adam have a chance of being able to claim it, in order to win if they get Montana, and Sam and Brian simply do not want them to get it. It's roughly 4 a.m. in the middle of the night of Salt Lake City in front of the state capitol building, and 4 white boys are going insane. It's one of those moments you wouldn't get in any other show, and it's one of those moments that feels so early jet lag too. Frettingly pulling cards, the only one who gets a card that could work is Ben and Adam with a busking card, which leads to Adam calling in cars at 4 a.m. with a shitty sign, rapping to beg for $1. A moment that makes me laugh every time I see it, and it feels so Adam Chase at its core. But luckily, Adam's desperation makes them win Utah, and now it's simply a race to Montana. Yet quickly, things do not go Ben and Adam's way. The rental car place is closed, and in one of those "of course that happened" moments, their car breaks down. It's clear at this point that Ben and Adam have lost the game, and Sam and Ryan pulled a win out of nowhere. While the rest of the episode might not be suspenseful, I think it still holds its merit, with fun hijinks between Ben and Adam, and with everything that's happened previously, the predictable ending doesn't take away from it. Shout out to my favorite moment of Sam mentioning he plays hockey. It ruined many lives. Anyway, that's my thoughts on Season 1. My favorite wildcard season, and a season I love revisiting.
Oh my god!
Hello, my name is Jake, and today I'm going to be ranking all the episodes from Jet Lag the Game, Season 2, Circumnavigation. And number 1, I have Episode 4, as there's a lot of good back and forth between the two teams. A lot of stuff happens in this episode. And then, at number 2, I have Episode 5, the finale. As is overall a great episode, has a lot of the main staples of Jet Lag the Game. You got Drunk Ben, Ben and Adam winning, and also their plane gets struck by lightning, which is kind of silly of them. Then, at number 3, I have Episode 1. There are a lot of iconic challenges that are done this episode, like the local pastry mile. At second to last, we have Episode 2. This episode isn't as good as some of the other episodes, as a lot of the challenges, I feel, aren't as fun to watch as some of the other challenges in this series. Lastly, we have Episode 3. For the majority of Episode 3, Ben and Adam are in the air, so it's a lot of it is just Sam and Joseph completing a bunch of the challenges. And that concludes my ranking of all of the Jet Lag the Game Season 2 episodes. Bye!
I don't know if you can relate. Comment below if you've been hunted by men for sport.
Jet Lag the Game Season 3, Tag Across Europe. This is the episode ranking. And so we're starting off here, Episode 4, as our worst episode. And this is the start of Ben's second run. And this is when his goal is really just to get out of Paris. They're stuck in Paris during this jail period, and so Ben is really trying to get out of there, which unfortunately means that while it is sort of tense and exciting because they're so close on a scale the whole time, not a lot happens in terms of challenges or overall board movement during a good portion, about a third to a half of this episode. Later on in the episode, there are a couple interesting things. Ben doubles up on a challenge, and there are a couple good things and ends off on a decent cliffhanger, but just all in all, not super exciting because of that extended downtime during the start of the episode. Then after that, we come up with Episode 5, which is continuing Ben's run. They do go to Lille again, which is great. We love to see Lille. This is the second Lille appearance during the season. But unfortunately, there are, I think, 2 challenges that ended up being duplicates and ended up being vetoed, which is not super exciting. There weren't a ton of challenges in this one. Sam and Adam do get a good strategy to kind of intercept Ben. They find an interesting path to do that, which is nice. And we get some good B-roll of Ben just kind of hanging out in the woods, not doing anything in particular, which is just sort of fun. He does get cursed, but it doesn't really do a whole lot. It doesn't really add, which is unfortunate. And then we get the Ben tag to get the start of Sam's run. Unfortunately, this run for Sam does, the jail period sort of overlaps the rest period, so that is some pretty bad timing and leads to some complications in pacing. Then we get to Episode 1, the very first episode. Great quick explanation of the game. This is a pretty simple season in terms of rules, so they can really explain it quickly. They go to Lille right off the bat, which is great. We love Lille. they do some good cuts to like, well, obviously they can't get here in time while they're getting there. The classic jet lag editing trick. We love it. They do have their first instance of dropped audio here, which is not a huge deal in this episode, but still not ideal. And because this is sort of the first episode and they're just kind of warming up, Ben has a pretty short run with an underwhelming tag. So it's not super exciting there. And then Sam does make an interesting play during the start of his run, but the episode kind of ends before that can really play out in any sort of interesting way. And then after that, we have episode 2, which involves Sam's run. He's suffering with the tote bag challenge, which is great. And then, unfortunately, he does have to end up vetoing a challenge. Well, he ends up vetoing it because he fails the estimate the population challenge, which just sort of leaves him sitting. Any challenge vetoes are not particularly interesting for the pacing of the episodes. And this was a particularly unfortunate time for one to happen. On the plus side, we do get a Tom Scott mention, which we love to see via the Mechanical Dragon in one of the towns Sam is in. And then we get another pretty boring tag, unfortunately, and this one has lost audio, and that's a place where the dropped audio does really sort of matter because it's during a tag. But Adam starts his first run. We're Team Adam here, so that's great. We love that. And he gets a really interesting curse with the can't use your phone until you're next tagged. So that really adds some tension and excitement to his run. And of course, this episode ends off with the infamous disguise cliffhanger, which we will come back to much later. And so then we end up on episode 6. And this is during Sam's second run still. Ben and Adam are able to sort of track and get ahead of him in a really interesting way. Like, they managed to kind of cut him off. Leo shows up for a third time, which is great. Sam gets a couple of train cancellations, which really adds to the already kind of tight timeline with his strategy. And then Ben and Adam, again, can get somewhere much faster than Sam thinks they can, and so they get to kind of cut him off there. There are a couple instances of them struggling to catch their train, and so that would kind of affect the strategy, so that's interesting. And then it's a really great tag when Ben gets to tag Sam here. Unfortunately, it does end with Adam being stuck on the train, which I will now talk about a little more for episode 7, the finale. This does have sort of a slow start because Adam's stuck on the train. They can't do a ton kind of during the jail period. But this is good tension for the start of Adam's run. He really has to kind of figure out a way to get away in such a short amount of time. And he finds this really long shot chance of winning. Just barely makes it on his train after like a veto period and this challenge that he can just barely complete. And unfortunately, it does just sort of end up with them running through a field as time ticks down. The final tag doesn't end up mattering because Ben can't get anywhere anyway. But it does end in an Adam victory, which is great. Again, we are Team Adam, so that is wonderful. And then that brings us to the all-time best episode in the season, and that is episode 3. And so this is the episode where Adam gets in disguise, which is an all-time great moment in the many seasons of this show. Is the Adam disguise infamous? And also we get the John Green cameo in the same episode, and so those back-to-back really sets this up off the bat. And there's some really consistently great tension with Sam and Ben chasing Adam. They are really close behind him quite a bit of the time. And unfortunately, this is also the point where Adam takes the disguise off, which is really unfortunate, especially because Sam and Ben get this really great cutoff of Adam where he doesn't think they can be there. But unfortunately, the disguise doesn't ever actually get to pay out because they catch him while it's off. So that's unfortunate, but it is still a really high stakes and interesting tag to start off Ben's second run, and just to cap it all off at the end, they get to do their little pose for the Street View car, which is wonderful, and we love to see that. So that all in all is just a really, really great episode. A lot of great moments from the season, all kind of compressed into one time frame there. But that is the whole ranking.
What is that ball? Someone in the comments, tell me what that ball does.
Hello Jetslags and Jet Like the Game on my phone fans. My name is Tree, and I'll be doing the Season 4 ranking. And if you disagree with me, well, too bad. And let's begin. So in 5th place, we have Episode 5. Obviously, has some great moments, like the helicopter scene. But also, Badam went to the wrong place, and Ray didn't get to see the Grand Canyon, and that was so sad. Also, we got George Wilmington and Bricked Up George. But also, I firmly believe that Bricked Up George should have won. Like, y'all who voted got mind controlled by the gummy worms or something. Cause, come on, Bricks. But also, maybe I'm biased cause I'm Team Brian. Cause he's baby girl, Anyway, shout out at the House of Big Manners. Also, a major con was the fucking tracker. And I know Sam said it seemed like a good idea at the time, and that it is hindsight that makes it seem bad, but come on, it was such a gamble. But I guess knowing Sam, he likes gambling. Also, Sam and Brian were low-key annoyed with each other the whole time, and it just felt kind of sad, I guess. But overall, it was a good episode, but it was too tense, and low-key upset me, and it's not that easy of a rewatch. Okay, moving on to 4th place is Episode 4. It has some great moments, like when Badam debauched the woman. We also got Leprechaun Sam and Badam drawing Mao. And then there's the soup incident, which... Sam, what the hell is wrong with you? But, honestly, the funniest thing Sam has ever done. And overall, good episode, but not too much happened. It seems more like a setup for the finale than anything else. And in 3rd place, we have Episode 1, which has so many bits. We got all the spying on and off the train of them playing chicken. Goddamn lips. Brian getting scared of his own reflection. Ball Sam. Show us your pumpkin. The telescope debacle. Keandra. And Brian stopping to get chicken nuggets in McDonald's, even though he's in the middle of a game. But also, Brian and Sam are having a horrible start in the episode, which is sad. Nevertheless, this episode had so many funny moments, but it was not as strong as the 2 episodes in the 1st and 2nd place. I guess it's cause it's still the 1st episode, and it has to set up the game before it can get more entertaining. In 2nd place, we have Episode 3. It has so many iconic lines, like we got Bucky's "Tell me what that ball does," which was immediately followed by the guy who makes sexy teeth. Also, the first ever Doons. Also, JT appeared. Love that guy. And generally, this episode had massive cozy road trip vibes. And honestly, no cons at all. It's just a very cozy episode. I love rewatching it. It just gave us so many iconic lines that the fandom likes to quote. And finally, in 1st place, we have Episode 2. Of course, we start out with the iconic pest center, but best of all is that this episode gave us Drunk Ben. And honestly, the Drunk Ben content in this episode is better than any other Drunk Ben content we have ever gotten. We got Dark Ben, Ben singing Chuck Jack with You, loving their Sarah, hating Boston. Also, the bird incident, where he's tried to spot birds and threatened to kick trees, which I'm taking full offense for, by the way. And maybe I'm biased in loving Drunk Ben, but my god, this episode was so fun to watch because of him. Also, Brian and Sam hit a motherload of birds, which is such a vindication, considering that they had such a bad start in the start of the game. TLDR, Episode 2, best episode, but mostly because of Drunk Ben. We love him, he's so entertaining, and hopefully we get more Drunk Ben in Season 10. But Episode 3 is definitely a close second. Anyways, I don't know how to end, but hashtag bring Brian back. Okay, bye.
I don't leave jet lag in an ambulance. Haven't tried hard enough.
Kia ora. I'm Amelia from New Zealand and Australia, and I'll be ranking Season 5 in Aotearoa, New Zealand. In at number 8 is Episode 3. Firstly, Ben, please don't eat the glowworms. Whilst this episode is chock-a-block full of power-up usage, with the first curses, roadblocks, and Nerf bullets being pulled, it's kind of just a story-building episode. The dice curse looks so painful, But the fact that Ben and Adam managed to shoot Sam and Toby at the Sky Tower is just absolutely amazing. All-time high. For number 7 is episode 6. A short little episode filmed with some very important gameplay moments. I can feel Sam's stress when he's trying to park in Wellington and he's trying not to use ease. Oh my goodness. But Toby's winning speech without using ease and having a hand near to tie is just absolutely a queen move. Both teams discussing why they think the East versus the West route is better, and then ultimately the shock of finding out that the other team picked the different route was iconic. Just so funny. Just tie the episode together in a perfect little bow. At number 6 is episode 5, and a wild ride of an episode. A rough start for Sam and Toby with the waterfall challenge, and ending with the no ease curse. Just crazy. Ben and Adam keep getting hit with roadblock after roadblock and having to veto some of them is rough as well. The vibes, though, in the middle of the episode with the beautiful New Zealand scenery and the sunsets and the rolling hills and everything that New Zealand is known for, the sheep, the cows, the greenery, the sunset, just really put it all together. But also we can't forget about the fact that Ben and Adam put disguises on, dresses and wigs, and then ultimately ended up not needing them. Just love that for them. And at number 5 is episode 4. Overall, a good but somewhat mid-episode in my opinion. The Auckland Challenge is obviously iconic. All of them running around trying to destroy rings, nerfing each other. So good. I love the fact that we see the moment that Ben and Adam get the text from Sam and Toby saying they've won, and Ben just collapses to the floor because same. After the stress of having to roll the dice, I would collapse to the floor as well. A massive shout out to Toby for trying that cheese that they made. I would never have done that. The absorbing, though, looks like a lot of fun, and then just vibing in this death brain eating river. Love that. At number 4 is episode 7. Wow, what a big episode. Sam knew his luck with the fishing challenge when he decided to skip it, decided not to risk it. Intense start to that day for Ben though. Getting drunk on a bottle of Chardonnay at 8 a.m. in the morning, not something I would have wanted to do. And then having to do a drunk math minute, I would have failed instantly. The plant though, in Christchurch, and Sam and Toby carrying it around, looked like they were taking their child on a lovely day out around Christchurch. So much fun. However, was that curse pull scripted or not? I guess we'll never know. The number 3 episode is episode 8. A fantastic end to the season. So many W's and so many L's on both sides. From the frantic call that Ben and Adam made to Sam and Toby, yelling at them to turn right, to Sam and Toby not being able to get enough upvotes on their Wanaka tree on Reddit. I love the fact that all 3 boys have now bungee jumped throughout the series. I think that's such a cool thing to have done for your job. Poor Ben and Adam dropping the elbow pasta and having to go the long route. I just feel like such a heartbreaking moment for them. A massive congratulations to Sam and Toby for the win this season. It was so deserved. Toby and Sam put in so much effort. Toby was meticulously planning, taking notes the whole time. What a queen. I do have to say, I think Toby's I'm feeling jet lagged moment is one of my favourites. Second place goes to episode 1. What a slaying intro sequence. Adam overtaking Sam on the run, and then Ben and Toby bonding over not being able to run up the hill. Just amazing. Well done to Ben and Adam for unknowingly using iconic New Zealand food brands for their sandwich. Vogel's bread, mainland cheese. Amazing. Sam's damned dice rolling ability really does him dirty here at the beach. Toby tried her hardest to use maths and science to make it okay, but it just wasn't working. All right, drum roll for number 1. is episode 2. Love the fact, first off, that it's straight into gameplay. Just there's no messing around. We're straight in. Here we go. Bang. Amazing. Some absolute classic all-time jet lag moments. Snack Boys becoming Snack Zone and them trying all those different snacks. Sam singing Back on the Road again, but not knowing any of the words, and then Toby not knowing the song. The Okahau Express, how could we not talk about that moment? Just amazing. I can feel the anxiety of like getting it wrong in those last moments. Oh my goodness. And then Toby just overall being more lucky than Sam. Well done, Toby.
Pain is only temporary. Winning is forever.
Hello, jet laggers. This is the fan ranking for Capture the Flag Across Japan. Anyways, on to the rankings. The worst episode of Season 6 of Jet Lag the Game is Episode 1. Because, while it is a good intro episode, not a ton really happens, besides Ben being caught. But compared to other opening episodes, it is superior, especially compared to Season 8's opening, which was basically just a trailer. Boys, do not release a trailer as an episode again. We will wait another week for you to just make a longer episode. That would be much nicer. Alright. The second worst episode is Episode 6. Regular setup episode that where we kind of already know that Badham have lost that round and it is going to overtime. The fact that you can figure out at the beginning of the episode that the chances of Badham winning are slim to none make this episode almost unwatchable. Therefore, it is one of the worst episodes of the season. This is going to be probably my hottest take, but the third worst episode is Season 5. Episode 5 is basically Episode 6 on steroids. There is some action. There are equal good runs by each team, but it ends in Sam and Scotty winning, which isn't good. And then Sam running away just turns into him rolling a bunch of dice and not doing a ton and basically just hiking and turning this into a travel show. This is a game show. These are athletes. Yeah, and then also Scotty not realizing that the town mascot would be on official buildings, not in the anime stores. Kind of an L take. Anyway, the next ranked episode, I would say the third best. There's a tie between episodes 3 and 4 because they were both pretty similar. But episode 3 had the iconic Ben hanging out with Sam part where they walk around and follow each other, and then episode 4 had Sam as a cat. So it also just a little bit of it really shows off the appeal of the JR Pass in this episode. They use the Shinkansen like 7 times, and like each of those tickets by themselves is like over $100 without the JR Pass. So this, if you were to use the JR Pass, how the Jet Lag the Game Boys use the pass, you could actually get value. As the new JR Pass costs like $600 now for a week. It's insane. The second best episode is Episode 2. The first epic catch of the season by Ben and Adam and the Shinkansen Gamble. Just a really good episode. The strategy of it, and then also actually using the locator accurately to pinpoint where they are is pretty impressive. I really liked Episode 2. Anyway, that was just a build-up for the best episode of the season, which is 7, the finale. By far the best episode. It shows the possibility of what future seasons could be like, and just after getting caught twice, Ben finally escaping Scotty barely is awesome. And and then Badham getting the dub and in dominating fashion. Honestly, just a lot of luck, and it was a good season. Good final episode. So those are my rankings. Goodbye.
Tears of joy, like they were weeping, and Joe Biden was there, and he kissed me on the forehead.
Hi, I'm Jotham from the Netherlands, also known as Jet Lagged Without Flying, and I'm going to rank the episodes of Jet Lagged the Game Season 7, Tag 2. In sixth and last place is episode 3. There's just not a lot happening in it. Adam is on his way from Munster to Emden and Ben and Sam are chasing him, both Adam and his chasers getting hit with a mirage of delayed and cancelled trains. After that Sam becomes the runner, but the part of his run that's in this episode is very uneventful. In fifth place is episode 2. Adam's challenges are fun, the disguise reveal is amazing, there's Amy and Tristan, shout out to Mayo, moments. Adam sings Starships by Nicki Minaj again, there's more delays and cancellations, but there's just so much in the other episodes I had to put this one low still. In fourth place is episode 1. There's the whole Mayor Muriel Bozer, this is not what I voted for. The will he get off the train or not shenanigans at Muse, which is honestly foreshadowing for later. Sam and Adam meeting Sophie, shout out to her. The pizza vending machine, Adam sticking his tongue out while in ultimate focus mode to catch Ben. In third place is episode 6. Of course there's Ben managing to escape Sam and Adam while hiding in the silliest place possible. Once again foreshadowing really, this time to Merle Schachen, the Bar de Luc, Bar le Duc confusion, the look at that compilation. Ben high-fiving Adam while getting caught, as it is also Adam congratulating Ben on his victory. Adam saying, the real trophy was in your head all along, the parade that I'm about to mention. So, in second place is episode 5. Ben's dream about him winning, Sam and Adam falling in a well, and Joe Biden kissing him on the forehead, and handing him the key of the city. Ben making absolutely woeful mayonnaise. The whole Ratatouille and the resulting mess at Howled, where Sam and Adam were expecting Ben to change at Bedemborg or Luxembourg. And in first place is episode 4. Ben and Adam, who have never seen twins wearing the same clothing, or knowing about the existence of flea markets, bing bong, hydrate or dihydrate. Sam's weird camera zoom in Zutphen, nobody ever being able to pronounce their Tog and Boss, Sam just not hiding at all and Den Boss, yes, that's also an acceptable name for it. Ben drinking water without holding his bottle. Sam and Adam getting so stuck in Breda they need like 40 minutes of research to just barely see they can take a taxi to Northercampen, and most of all them being in my area. I just love it so much, even the little things like the wall bridge, being filmed in black and white. I literally can't express my love for it enough in text-to-speech.
You're cowboys, we're cowboys. How's about like a little
we're
5-minute ride
knights.
on the
We
horse?
can be like, look, we are knights, we know.
So I was invited by Jetlag the Game on my phone to rank every episode from Season 8 of Jetlag the Game, Arctic Escape. And so here we are. This is my ranking of the best Jetlag the Game Season 8 episode by Lucy, from Licorice Lucy, who is also me. Disclaimers to start with. Every Jetlag season I am always on Team Sam, which is partly why this is my favourite season, so I will be biased based on Sam Denby content, as everyone should be, in my opinion. Sam Denby is my god. I worship him in every way, shape or form. Secondly, I'm British, and I have next to no knowledge about stuff in the US except for the name of every state, because I learn basic information, nothing else. Despite that I am not qualified at all for this ranking, my opinion is the correct one, and any criticism will not be accepted. Also, it is currently 1 in the morning, so if I sound dead inside, it is because I am dead inside. And so we start with last place. Every episode is good, but there had to be one in last, as there always is. Episode 3. I don't know. Nothing happens. They just do some challenges. There's nothing interesting. And also, I hate Idaho, because they had a waterfall, and it was in Idaho, and they named the place Idaho Falls, which is the dumbest possible name for a place like that, and I hate them for it. But there's pumpkins, so it gets 6th instead of 7th, which I would have put it in behind the outtakes, but... And in 5th place, we have episode 2. Ben and Adam sit in an airport for a majority of the video, which is very boring. Sam and Michelle don't do much interesting except talking to a moose a couple of times. But the only reason why this is higher than episode 3 is because of the background image of this slide, which is horror movie Sam Denby from the Crying Challenge. and also the fact that I hate the state of Idaho with a passion. Moving through to 4th place, we have episode 5. Now, this is firstly because it features Montrose, Colorado, and I have family who live in Montrose, Scotland, which I think Montrose, Colorado is named after, if I had to guess, because every place in the US is named after a place in Britain, which I still hate you guys for, be original, but this does make the episode based. We get train content 5 episodes in, and as my little subnote says, please, Joe Biden, if you win the next presidential term, build more railways, just for the reason that we can get an American jet lag that doesn't have planes in it. That would be my dream, because I like America, but I just hate the amount of planes you have to use to get around it. And then, in my opinion, the cliffhanger at the Dallas Sportarium is the best one in the entirety of Jet Lag the Game, not just this season, because the entire season, who won rested on that moment. Whether or not Sam and Michelle could make it into the Dallas Sportarium decided who won, and that just makes for a brilliant cliffhanger. And in 3rd place now, we have episode 4, because we get Drunk Jet Lag. This time it's Adam and Michelle, and I just put Adam here because Drunk Adam was funnier, but Michelle does explain sex to a bird in a Petco. I have a mind of a 10-year-old, so I found that really funny. Most of you probably won't, but it's my opinion, so fuck you. Genuinely though, Drunk Adam is weirdly wholesome for some reason. He calls, I think, both his girlfriend and his mum at separate times just to tell them how he loves them, which is incredibly based of him. It's only 3rd because we were robbed of Drunk Ben. It probably would have gotten 2nd had it been Drunk Ben. And yes, I know that Ben running a mile would probably cause his death, but my point stands. And now, moving through to 2nd place, episode 1. It has Ben and Adam TikTok dancing. Now, this episode was 4th in my initial rankings, and then I remembered that existed, so it moved to 2nd, taking over, I think, both episodes 5 and 4, because just how good that sequence is in the episode. I love it. We love the town of Utqiagvik in this household. It's a brilliant town. I'd love to go there at some point. And also, if you learn to pronounce the name, you do become better than everyone else around you, and you can brag about it to your friends. They might have no idea what you're on about, but you will be better. Snowmen. I like the snowmen. Sam says nothing could go wrong while on an Alaskan Airlines Boeing 737, which is funny to a specific group of people, which is plain nerds, me. The context is the background, which is that the emergency door on a Alaskan Airlines Boeing 737 got blown out during a flight. If you want more context, watch Wendover Productions' video on Boeing. Sam, thank me for the plug. Episode 1, first place is the finale. That could have been way more dramatic, but we roll. Sam wins. As I've said before, I am incredibly biased, so don't blame me, but Sam wins, so it makes it the best episode. I watch this episode once a week, legitimately, along with the New Zealand finale. It might be unhealthy, but I'm going to continue to do it for a while. Hartsfield Jackson at Lancaster International Airport is mentioned. I don't have any reason why this makes it better, but Hartsfield Jackson at Lancaster International Airport is mentioned. The women 100% win rate continues, along with Season 5 Toby. And Toby, please bring this back in Season 10. This is all I need in life. I will be incredibly happy if the women keep winning. There is more Ben and Adam in the ticket office, which is the theme of the season. The amount of times that they managed to get onto a plane that they shouldn't have been able to get onto is incredible. They still lost, so L, Ben and Adam, but it's amazing how managed to do it. Don't know why that's there, but they did drive for Utah. And we do get Ben Doyle shower content, which is all anyone should need in life to be content with how they're living. And those are my rankings. If you disagree, you can email me at idon'tcare@myopinioniscorrect.government.thecookislands, because you are wrong, I am right, and that's how this ends.
The real lesson is if you let someone hide in an entire country, it can be a little tricky to find them.
I hope that isn't too loud. I'm here in beautiful Zurich, Switzerland right now, and I'm going to be talking about Jet Lag the Game Season 9, which is a pretty cool season. I'm currently here for a 24-hour layover, a 24-hour The Layover podcast. I'm sorry, you can please edit this. I wasn't expecting to go to Switzerland today, but I think that's just in the spirit of jet lag. Anyways, I'm here to talk about Jet Lag the Game Season 9. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Grimlar. I'm Dylan Grimlar Bates. I made a video about Jet Lag the Game. I ranked all the seasons. And spoilers, Switzerland was my number 3. So I'm very excited to watch this. I stayed with an Italian family, and I managed to convince one of them to watch Jet Lag the Game Switzerland, and it's all fresh in my memory. This is like almost perfect. He started watching, they found my videos. I don't know how they did. Anyways, okay, number 5. I believe that there's 5 episodes. I'm gonna go with episode 3 for number 5. I think all of the episodes are actually really solid. I think instantly they get off to a good start. Number 3, I think, just falls a little flat because it's like, we've already seen them do the silly stuff. We've already seen them go into Zug. And at this point, it's literally just them searching for Ben in the playground. And that's funny and all. But, you know, I like the big strategy as well. It gets a little frustrating. It's funny. It's a really funny episode.
So, faced with no other options, we decided we had no choice but to head back up to the stations around Zug.
Okay, at number 4, we have episode 1, which is Adam's first run. That's good. I like him staying in the castle. It feels a lot longer. Honestly, it felt like the longest run, even though it was by far the shortest. You could tell they were optimistic with this one, and they weren't expecting the game to completely break, but it does. Oh well. No, it's good. They actually do challenges in that one, so that's cool. And for my number 3 pick, I'm gonna go with episode 4, which is Sam's run, which was disappointing. He should have won, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, I like them searching for him in the forest. I kind of like the self-contained runs. Even though Ben was the only one who got a 2-episode run. I don't know why they did that. Speaking of which, my number 2 pick is episode 2, because I just like them. I just like Ben seeing them go back to Zug. I believe that's the episode. I could be wrong. I don't have much time to research this, and to be honest, I don't know if I'll have time to film this anywhere but Switzerland. So, my number 1 pick is the finale, because I love the montage where they're searching for where Adam could possibly be, the twist. I just love how the game just completely breaks as they play it. Anyways, thank you for having me. This has been a wonderful time. I hope I pressed record.
7 obscene articles.
Okay. This is my second time recording because I forgot to add 2 entire seasons to the bracket. But anyway, this is now the official bracket. We have all the top episodes lined up. And I don't like why there's an even number. Why can't they all just be their own bracket? But whatever. It's fine. Okay, so first up, we have Season 8, Episode 6 versus Season 7, Episode 4. And Season 7, Episode 4 just would not have been my pick. I know Jotham picked it because, he lives there, which, valid. I mean, in terms of high points, we do get the Ben Million Burpees, which was, iconic to watch, but also just so entertaining because, he is the last member you would expect to do that, but he does, and it's amazing. So proud of him. But compared to Season 8, Episode 6, it was so full of tension. I mean, and then, of course, Ben shower, but also, the train and this overnight train with old people. This is a rare sighting in Jet Lag America. So We'd love to see that. And then, of course, Sam and Michelle, they make it, they win, they continue the female plus Sam winning streak. And it's just a really satisfying episode, whereas I feel like season 7, episode 4, like, it's fine, but it doesn't have that, like, punchy ending that season 8, episode 6. Just, I love finales. So I think I'm going to give the win to season 8, episode 6. Okay, for our next pairing, we have season 6, episode 7, and season 9, episode 5. And not a pairing I would expect to see, but I think these two seasons, their gameplay is like particularly interesting. It definitely breaks the formula in terms of, do they do a lot of challenges, which for both of these, the answer is no, which is why they're both, I don't know. I would say some of my least favorite seasons, but season 9 has actually grown on me so much. Like, we love you, hide and seek. But anyway, season 6, this is the finale. Ben and Adam get their well-deserved win, with Ben finally getting away from Scotty, crab walking, all of that. And there's like a really intense Sam Adam chase sequence at the beginning, which like got my heart racing the first time I saw it. But overall, like the trains and Tokyo and stuff, like that will never be better to me than like the classic jet lag challenges out in the middle of nowhere field. So I think season 9, episode 5, this is the finale as well, but like here we see so much beautiful scenery with Adam's cinematography, and it doesn't frustrate me as much that they like failed to catch him here, because like whereas in the episode with the playground where they're like right next to Ben the entire time and they don't see him, like here they had no idea. They were not in the same area at all, not in the same town, because Adam was just so smart and so sneaky. And they simply did not have a chance. And that was just really fun to watch. Less frustrating, more satisfying, because, Adam really wanted this. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like season 9, episode 5 is just a stronger finale if we're going finale to finale. So, I think I'm giving season 9, episode 5 the win. Okay, now we have season 1, episode 3, and season 8, episode 6 head to head. And season 1, episode 3, it's got boys up, 4 a.m., Adam's trying to busk, so that was like really fun, wrapping it up. But this also has one of the saddest moments in jet lag history, where Ben and Adam freeze to death and their car breaks down, RIP. So yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a tough watch. Like, it's fun, but seeing them not get their win because of unforeseen circumstances is always frustrating. And then season 8, episode 6, I mean, in comparison, I feel like finale to finale, once again, Sam and Michelle, like their win is so much more deserved and so much more they've worked for it this one, instead of like, oh, the other team's car broke down. Like, they were climbing into buildings for this. They were driving, they were running, they were skipping lines. So I don't know, I feel like, yeah, if you place the two episodes next to each other, the one that's definitely more satisfying for me is season 8, episode 6. Like, that stuff could have been scripted. It's a good jet lag episode when it's getting scripted allegations. So I'm going season 8, episode 6. Okay, now we have two seasons that are right next to each other, and the episode 2 for both of those, and that's season 5, episode 2, and season 4, episode 2. And with season 4, episode 2, like, I know a lot of people have differing opinions on season 4, but I just feel like it's not only good on its own merit, but comparing it to season 1, like, Brian has such a better role here. He's really more comfortable in front of the camera. So as a Brian fan, like, season 4 is kind of amazing. Hope they have him back on again. But yeah, episode 2 specifically, we get drunk Ben, and it's drunk Ben at his peak in a bar with a gay flag, crying, having to go to the airport. Like, this is just wonderful content, A+++. We also get dark Ben, we love evil, we love angry, and yeah, and finally, I think this is like really important that Sam and Brian actually, get a leg up, because this season was so unfair to them, pissing me off to this day. But when they win the bird thing and they see all the birds, like, it was satisfying. But yeah, I don't know. And then it had Pez, it had the Acela, like, it had a lot of iconic moments, but you put it head to head with season 5 episode 2, and season 5 itself is just like a better season, I think. But season 5 episode 2 specifically, like, this has the Okai Express, possibly like the singular most iconic jet lag moment of all time, and like, you can't compare with that. And especially, I think this is the first appearance of the snack zone. I don't know if it appears in the episode before, because, you know, didn't watch all these, but yeah, and it's just the snack zone the first time you see it. So it was just like surprising, it's funny, and I don't know. There's also, Amelia didn't mention this, but like Ben at the water park flopping around like professional athlete, I think, yes. So there's just countless iconic moments, but I think the Okai Express like seals the deal. Like, that's worth like 10 iconic season 4 moments. The Okai Express is simply superior. So we're getting season 5 episode 2 the win. Okay, so here we have season 2 episode 4 and season 3 episode 3. And you know what? The people, they shit on circumnavigation. They hate it. I'm not one of those people. Okay, yeah, do I think Joseph was a weak partner and was kind of just following Sam around, which is valid. Like, circumnavigating the world is a hard experience. You know, I'm gonna let the plane guy do it. But yes, you know, he wasn't the best guest, but you need to look past that, and I think a lot of people don't, and like look at the individual challenge and moments is here. Like, the bungee jumping with Ben and Adam, that was so funny and so iconic, and they were scared shitless. I was laughing. And the whole like being stuck in Singapore arc, just so funny, so cozy. I do love this episode. But comparing it to season 3 episode 3, like, once again, like the Okai Express, season 3 episode 3 has another really, really iconic moment, which is Adam's disguise. Okay, yes, he does take it off, but when he has it on, like the wig itself, just such an iconic episode. It spawns so many jokes. There's so many lore moments in this episode, whether you're a casual fan or like into the fandom. There's like so many iconic moments here. John Green's there too. You know, he talks about it to this day. We talk about it to this day. So I think if you look at lasting impact, season 3, episode 3 washes circumnavigation episode 4. So for that reason, I'm going season 3, episode 3. Okay, here's an interesting mashup with Crimespree episode 2 versus season 9 episode 5. So the oldest versus the newest. And I think Crimespree is a really good example of the jet lag improvement because it's the pre-show, so definitely less refined. There's no rest periods. Like, the guys are starving. The guys are up 24/7, which affects gameplay. And the gameplay itself is like, but honestly, I don't know, like, the dildos do make a good argument. That was funny, that was iconic, versus season 9 episode 5. I don't know if it has any individual moments quite as iconic, but I think you have to look at the overall episode, and the overall episode itself is just so much higher production value, so much higher production quality, and like the tension is much better edited, I feel. Like, Crimespree has its songs, it has its little gimmicks, but like, if you look at experienced editing, you look at experienced cinematography, like season 9, perfect in those categories. So I think for that reason, it's gonna get the win, even though the dildo episode is, of course, so funny, so iconic, but you have to look at like overall episodes. So I think I'm giving season 9, episode 5 the win.
7 obscene articles.
Okay, here it's getting interesting. So we have season 8, episode 6 versus season 5, episode 2. And season 8, oh, well, these are the girls' seasons itself. And though I think Michelle and Toby are both wonderful in different ways, like, season 8 is very go, go, go. It's very high energy, trying to win, which, like, not to say they're not in season 5, especially Sam. He was stressed as hell the whole time, but I think with the New Zealand atmosphere, it just automatically becomes more cozy, more comforting, and I really do like that vibe. It's definitely, yeah, just a fan favorite for that reason. But Yeah, season 8, I don't know, those American seasons, man. Like, I mean, the USA has some beautiful places for sure, but compare it to the scenery you see just going down the highway in New Zealand. Like, in terms of aesthetics, season 5, episode 2 washes. And also, I mean, go and train for train. Okaiho Express, I feel, definitely beats Sleeping Train. So sorry to those old people and sorry to Ben showering, but yeah, I think season 5, episode 2, like, we go in country for country, New Zealand versus the United States. Like, I think New Zealand's winning this one. So I'm going season 5, episode 2. Okay, so here we have season 3 versus season 9. And season 3, episode 3, well, you know, a lot of people, it's their favorite season. It's definitely the quintessential jet lag season. It has like great balance of challenges and travel and stress and silly times, which, like, yeah, I think does give season 3 its merit, but you really can't count out season 9. Like, they tried something new here, and I think the format really works. Like I said before, certain other seasons, like season 6, Capture the Flag really didn't work for me, but the hide and seek in Switzerland, I don't know if it's because I'm Swiss and biased and all that, but like, I really enjoyed that format. I do hope they go back to it. So I think season 9 definitely has its fans. You probably either really enjoy it or you want them to go back to the more traditional jet lag format. But in terms of like simple iconic moments, I think season 3, of course, wins overall. Like, that was the season that we had Adam Disguise, like I said. That was the season where it was the first tag across Europe, and it really did work because they made a second one. So, but honestly, I think if we're going overall episode for overall episode, I'm gonna give it to season 3, episode 3, simply because I feel like it had a bit more to it. Like, there was more going on versus season 9. Like, we were trying to find Adam the entire time. It was stressful. So yeah, it has that, but like, it just really was missing out that quintessential silly jet lag moments, silly jet lag challenges. And though I do like season 9 as a whole, I think that was an area they could have improved on. So I'm gonna do it for the silly people, and I'm giving it to season 3.
7 obscene articles.
If you were betting on this beforehand, you would probably bet that it's either season 5 or season 3, because those are just such beloved seasons. At least I love them. I think they're great. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like they both have so much, there's an iconic energy to both of them. They both have their super fans. So I think if we compare them in that merit, they could go head to head. But if we're just looking at like overall cleanness, I feel like season 3, it was earlier on, it was a bit rougher, versus season 5, I feel like they were really in their groove. And season 3, I mean, it was nice that it showed the different dynamics between the different boys, but like, I think them having a guest really does work in their advantage most of the time. And like, when that guest is Toby, like, she just added such a wonderful, like, quiet but like thoughtful dynamic. Like, she's just perfect and amazing. So I think if we're going Toby-less versus Toby full, season 5, episode 2, it has Toby, and it has the Okaiho Express, and it has really clean and fun editing. And like, I think these are the type of battles where it's like both of these episodes are genuinely so good and so amazing. So not to say season 3, episode 3, like, isn't well edited, but if you like look at the little stuff, I think they would agree that they've improved over time. So I think I'm gonna go give it to season 5, episode 2 is the singular best jet lag episode. Thank you, the Okaiho Express. Yup. Thank you, what's his face, Peter Cape, who wrote the song. You're king for that. And thank you to everybody who submitted their videos, because I do really appreciate that you guys want to watch all the jet lag episodes, so I don't have to watch all the jet lag episodes and I can study chemistry instead. And yeah, I just love this community so much. I think you guys are the coolest people ever. I love that you guys live around the world. This is really such an international show. So yeah, see you all in the next video. If you don't agree with my choices, I don't care, you're wrong. If you don't agree with the people in this video's choices, that's why I provide their Twitter, so you can go DM them.